Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Philip, the My High Mouth, and today we're going to take a look at the Genesis 1 and the Genesis 2, the Mini Genesis 1 and the Mini Genesis 2, and we're going to decide which one's better. And we're also going to talk about the various prices of everything that's in them. I mean, are these a good value? Spoiler alert, yes they are. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the Genesis. Okay, welcome back. So let's take a look at what we have on the Sega Genesis 1, Mini 1, and then we're going to take a look at what's on the Mini 2. We have about 42 games on the Mini 1, and what I'm going to go ahead and do here is price them out based off of what's on VG price charting as of October 30th, 2022. Now, for Super Fantasy Zone and Tetris, which don't have actual games, I looked at them as being, well, let's take a look at the repro cards and decide that, well, I would assign about $15 to them. Now, I've already done the math, and what I discovered while going through this is that some of these games are not worth a lot. Like, I was doing a thing, like for this example, Virtua Fighter 2 is worth $14.49 loose. I was going for loose, not complete in box, right? And I actually had a thing where I went through every single one of them and read their price. And I realized I wasn't recording after I did it. So I was like, no! There's about 25 minutes of me just talking into the wind. But I did find some interesting stuff out, right? So for this one right here, like Monster World 4 isn't obscenely expensive. And this one here is only like a limited edition thing, like a limited run type thing. So it's like $60. Some of these are super not worth a lot, like Echo the Dolphin, for example. Alex Kidd. A lot of people don't really like it. But one thing I like about this particular one is it has Bloodline, Contra Hardcore, and a bunch of others, right? I would say between the two, I actually prefer the Sega Genesis Mini 1 in terms of the stuff, because it has Sonic 2, Monster World 4, Landstalker, where is it? Where's the other? Oh, Streets of Rage 2, which is perfect in my opinion. Phantasy Star 4, which is one of the best ones, and then also Beyond Oasis. I mean, some of the games on here are not that good. Like, Altered Beast was on everything, and Altered Beast is not good. I don't think it's good. Alex Kidd, I don't think is good. I am not particularly a fan of Contra Hardcore. It's okay, but I'm not really a fan of it in comparison to, say, Contra 3. Some of the other ones that are on this are kind of amazing. Like Mega Man Wily Wars is really good. But yeah, Landstalker is one of my favorite games on the Sega Genesis. Absolutely love it. And Sonic 2 and Streets of Rage 2 are nearly completely perfect. Now, neither the Mini or the Mini 2 has Sonic the Hedgehog 3 because of licensing reasons, but yeah, we'll get into it. But yeah, Monster World 4, just... This system, if I because I went through and added up all the prices, and since these don't have a price, I assigned them $15 each. So it actually, the entire value of this is about $1,337. And the irony of that is not lost on me, okay? I know. But yeah, some of these, like Ghouls and Ghosts, good stuff. Golden Axe, etc. And, yeah. Oh, by the way, if you're playing any of these games, like let's say we go into this one, right? Game Start. I'm playing it with the Mini 2, the controller that came with the Mini 2. I can get to the mode menu. The mode menu at mode menu at any time by doing this. I hear you, man. Okay. Oh my gosh, what is it? You good? Okay. Anyway, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Actually, one thing I need to do is go and get a... there is a release for the Sega Saturn controller, right? There's a wired Sega Saturn controller that they sell. Or rather, 8-bit Do sells. I know the wired 6-button controller from 8-bit Do works on the other stuff. I need to see if the Saturn one will work on these, because I really feel like that's what they should do next. They should do a Saturn Mini, and the Saturn Mini should have Knights, so they're going to have to put it in the 3D controller. It should have Knights, Symphony of the Night. I think Grandia was also on the Saturn. There's a couple things where it's like, yeah. Although, if you're doing Grandia, you kind of fall into game arts. But as long as working design's not attached to it, we're good. Which actually does become a problem on the Mini 2. Which is kind of a shame. But yeah. By the way, yes, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is just still like... I love this game. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I grew up more with the Super Nintendo, and then any kids I babysit had like the Sega Genesis, unless they were cool and then they had a Super Nintendo. If you grew up with the Sega Genesis and not the Super Nintendo, let me let you in on a little secret. You were a loser. Yeah. You're not smart. Nah, the Super Nintendo was better. Super Nintendo had more RPGs, had longer games, had better games. Yeah, you all had your like Mortal Kombat 2 with its blood or whatnot, but yeah, and then Mortal Kombat 1 with like the blood and stuff. And then, hey, the Super Nintendo got Mortal Kombat 2 with all the blood intact and better graphics. So, you know, you can all say what you will, but yeah, the Super Nintendo was a better system overall. I mean, got Earthbound, Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country is much better than Vector Man. Sorry. And then Super Mario RPG and all that. Yeah. But yeah, oof, I love this. Yeah, what do you think, May? You like Tails? Oh, she's watching Tails. It's kind of funny. This is one of those things where if I were like streaming this or something and put up the little webcam so you could see my cat, she has a tendency to like sit right by the TV and watch whatever's going on. She loves pixel games. And she seems to appear to like Sonic 2. As she should. Sonic 2 was a near perfect game. There's only a couple games on the Sega Genesis that I would consider to be near perfect. There's quite a few more. There's more on the Super Nintendo, but that is just the way it is. Ah, man. Way too many people own Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That was a runaway success. It wasn't better than Super Mario World, but it was a bit of a runaway success. Kind of makes me sad that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 kind of got screwed over by like the people who own Michael Jackson's estate, which is unfortunate. Cause like, yeah, say what you will about Michael Jackson, and a lot of people do say what they will about him. He made good music, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is just fantastic. I may actually have to hack this system and put Sonic 3 on it. Either this one or the Mini 2. Either one of those is going to get Sonic 3 on it. Probably the Mini 2, because one, better chip, all that stuff. And once the, oh, I miss keeping my rings. Like, oof, whoa. Nah, there's a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Switch has that little thing where you can do that. Yeah, don't touch that, buddy. We don't want to touch that until we get more rings. Our rings regenerated, so like we can go down here and get some more rings somewhere. Oh my gosh, how? Anywho, let's pop out of here, go back to main menu. Oh, the main menu music is pretty good too. But yeah, the value of this original one is pretty big. There's only 3 wallpapers, which I feel is a missed opportunity. But yeah, let's go ahead and turn this one off and get to the next one. Okay, so going into this one. Oh my gosh, let's do screen settings, by the way. CRT filters, yay! CRT filters for everyone. Make it crunchy. Anywho, definitely more wallpapers this time around. Different mode button selects or whatever. Anyways, at first glance, the Sega Genesis Mini 2 has less, sort of. It has more games, but also less. But also, holy crap. I was going through this to figure out what it would cost you to get every single one of these games loose. Now, if it's a game that didn't have an actual release, like Spatter or Locomotive, or this version of Space Harrier 2, I just put down $15 because I feel that's a fair price. Like versus Puyo Puyo Sun is only multiplayer. So yeah. The thing though about this one is that if you were to add up all the Sega CD games and all the Sega Genesis games, the value for this one is $3,003. And the real reason for that is because there are some monsters on here. Crusader Senti is worth $626 loose. And then I was like, really? Then I get to Elemental Master, which is like $105. And yeah, there are some games on here that are woof. Now for the Sega CD, this one, Shining Force CD, is worth $271 loose, like just the disc. Sewer Shark's worth $8, which is, I feel, a little bit too much. But yeah, that is the thing. Oh gosh, so this one has more. I guess the best way to put it would be this one has more shooters. But it also has these, right? You can join Coronavirus and his animal friends. Yeah. Crusader Senti. Whoo, boy. Now, altogether, all the Genesis games on this one add up to about $2,168. All the Sega CD games all together worth about $835. So, yeah. Out of those two, though, I mean, shoot, neither of these is Sonic 3, which is the one I really miss. But, ooh, there's a lot of games on here that I am not familiar with. I'm not really familiar with some of these. Yeah. I'm going to play the hell out of this, because I've never played Crusader Senti. But, you know what? That's kind of fine. I have not played Crusader Senti, and I'm not going to play $626 to play it loose. I could just pirate it, but you know what? I pre-ordered this. This cost me $120 something after tax and all the stuff, right? I pre-ordered it, and it was totally worth it. Oh, wow. I love how there's like a giant creation myth at the beginning of this game. It's like, hey, here's the world and everything. Man, I would imagine that, like, growing up and looking at this right here, you'd be all like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Nah, there's some good RPGs on the Sega Genesis. No Final Fantasy games like Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3. Yeah. I mean, you gotta decide whether it's like, are you looking like Crusader Ascenti or, I mean, Landstalker's great, but Landstalker is not The Legend of Zelda. Landstalker is not Earthbound. This game here, let's see what it got. Monsters did not become extinct. I want them to add Crusader Ascenti to the Sega Genesis Online stuff for the Nintendo Switch, just to see the meltdowns on people. Because, you know, some people be like, yeah, why are just adding games I don't know about? But no, seriously. God, the thing though is, between the two of these, the Sega Genesis 1 has Monster World 4, which is amazing. And Sonic 2 and Streets of Rage 2. This though, I don't know Crusader Ascenti, so I'll find out. Ooh, published by Atlas. Okay, it's got 4 of these. Let me put in a name. Ooh, I bet I can fit my entire name in here. Nice. I appreciate it when I can do that. Oh, wow. We're giving you a Pokemon! Wait, they are, aren't they? Oh no. Wow, that sucks. Are you in like South Korea or Israel or something? Oh no. Ooh. Yeah, it's a Zelda like. You know what? Let's save you in this. By the way, yeah, I know. I'll go mess with that later. I'll go to the main menu. Kind of a big deal actually on this is that you can go into any, like on the first one, you can change the settings and choose Japan, and you'll be in the Japanese ROMs. Like you'll be on there for that. And that's because Streets of Rage 3, the version we played in the United States, is inferior to Bare Knuckle, which is also on here, but kind of hidden. There's Sonic the Hedgehog CD. Oh, Sonic 3D Blast. I just wish that they were able to put Sonic 3 on here, because you know, if they could, they would. They'd be like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Oh, they could have put in Knuckles, but I guess not, huh? Oh well. There's some issues with that one too, huh? But yeah. They also don't have Lunar and Lunar 2 on here. The Japanese version of this, like the one that came out in Japan, has some games that are not on the US one and vice versa. Lunar and Lunar 2, so those Sega CD games are on there, but not on the United States one. If you want to put them on the US one, you may have to. It's one of those things where you may have to hack the system. Mainly because working designs, and it's like, seriously, why is it like that? Victor Ireland, you and I know each other, dude. Just put it on there for me. You should have been nice. You know what? I'm probably not gonna wish him happy birthday next year. Be like, no, Victor Ireland, you don't deserve a happy birthday from me. John Romero got one this year. So did Carmack. I wished them both that, and they both said thanks. You could have gotten a chance to say thanks, and could have gotten birthday wishes from me if you'd put, you know, Lunar on here. Oh, so weird. To be perfectly honest, though, like if I were gonna put Lunar on any of these, it'd probably be on the PlayStation Classic. Which, oh man, they dropped the ball on that one so bad. This, however, oof, this makes me think a little bit of the Turbo Graphics 16 Mini that came out, which had like Bonk's Revenge, and Zonk, and like Castlevania, Dracula X. Ooh, what they should do is, if they do a Saturn Mini, they should put Castlevania Dracula X on it, or rather, Rondo of Blood, and Symphony of the Night. Because like Symphony of the Night on the Saturn, I think most people associate with like the PlayStation, but I'm pretty sure it came out on the Saturn as well. Let me check real quick. Let's see, Sega Genesis Saturn. By the way, looking at these, it's kind of a shame that they missed out on putting in, like, I think there's a couple, like, going into this, it looked like a lot of the choices that they put on here were based off of preservation and not off of, like, oh, this is popular. Yeah, it feels like many of these are on here because of, well, just game preservation. And I like that. I mean, I like the idea of companies putting things out like this, where instead of, re-releasing old cartridges or whatnot, or stuff that people would never have a chance to find because it's so expensive, you put out something like this, and it's got all those in there, and they're curated, and it's nicely presented and just put together nicely. Like this stuff is put together nicely. But yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick. One thing that's missing off of this that I wish was on it would be some other ridiculous. There are some Genesis games that some people will never get to play, and yeah, let's do price high to low. Yeah, there's some where like was it like Outback Joey? Yeah, or what is it, Troubleshooter, which loose is $110. New Leaf, which I'm not sure what that is actually. I think it's an accessory. It's a oh, yeah, that's not even a game. Never mind. I was just looking at price charting. Outback Joey. What is that? Let's see. Released 1993. Western Technologies. Huh. Yeah. Who owns the rights to that? I bet it's not even that good. Oh, it's a personal trainer thing, so it's one of those weird games. Yeah. That would be a weird one. I guess they put the most expensive thing that they could find on there. But yeah, some of these, like the Ninja Warriors that's on here, it's $104. Yeah. As far as the Sega Saturn, but as far as the Sega Saturn, looking at the Sega Saturn, let me check on something real quick. Was there Castlevania Symphony of the Night? Could have sworn there was like, was it Dracula X? Which ones were on here? Is it? Well, I know that one had some interesting stuff. Oh man, wouldn't it be funny if they did a Saturn Mini and they put Street Fighter Alpha 2 on it? Yeah, that's kind of what you'd want them to do, right? Put Alpha 2, Sonic R, the Saturn version of CD Blast. Let's see, Sega Saturn Symphony of the Night. Yeah, it did come out on that. Yeah, and then also Rondo of Blood, if I remember correctly. Yeah, didn't Rondo of Blood come out for that? Well, I guess, yeah, it did. Yeah, Castlevania, Rondo of Blood, and Symphony of the Night. Yeah, they should put out a Sega Saturn version. Oh, they could put Panzer Dragoon, and yeah, I think that would be great. Let's see, video games here. Let's do. Yeah, let's look at Sega Saturn. They could also put 32X games on there too. Which, if they did something like that, if they did like a Sega Genesis Sega Saturn Mini, which I feel like they'd have to go ahead and make that just like a special order thing, same as this. They need to treat it the same way they did this one, right? They'd have to have like Knuckles Chaotix, Colibri. Let's see. Yeah, there's not too many stuff on the 32X. Like, the 32X Virtua Fighter would have to be on there. And Space Harrier they'd put on there, I think. Afterburner. Yeah. So looking at these, I kind of feel like I like the Mega Drive too. I'm gonna play a lot more I'm gonna play some more Shining Force, like these right here. There's some like let me just move this by genre. Okay, go back. Yeah. Let's do genre. Right? We have some racing games like Outrunners and stuff, but yeah, look at the RPGs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Lots of shooters. And then your action games. Hey, remember that like there was a contest where you could win like some money or something? Oh, let's not do release date. Let's do A to Z. I prefer alphabetical. But yeah, looking at some of these ones, I was playing like Super Street Fighter 2, just good. And having Bare Knuckle 3 and Streets of Rage 3 essentially at my fingertips here because I just switch, and it's good. That's pretty great because Streets of Rage 3 is different from that. Same with Sonic CD. Many of these have their Japanese counterparts are slightly different or uncensored. Yeah, there's a bunch of censorship that happened to Streets of Rage 3. Anywho, yeah. Rice Star. I would have liked it if Rocket Knight had made it onto this. I mean, I would definitely give up Night Trap for Stock Snatcher or Rocket Knight. Some of these games I don't even know what they are. Like Mansion of the Hidden Souls. Okay. Some of these are super obscure and you're like, hey, Midnight Resistance. But Golden Axe 2 is, that's good stuff. There's some good stuff in here. Final Fight CD. Like, this one has all 3 characters. Let's see, all 3 characters and 2 players. Yep. If I remember correctly, this one's got like pretty good music too. Yeah, because I think you can play as Hagar, Guy, and Cody. I think there was a version for the Super Nintendo that didn't have it, that was missing a character, and then they put out like Final Fight Guy, which was like, oh, you can be Guy.
Metro City, a well-known crime capital, has been ruled by violence and death for many years.
Ooh, voice acting.
A fact which the newly elected mayor and former Street Fighter Mike Hager plans to change. At the center of the
did they call him Hager or? Oh, yeah. Anyways, let's skip all that. Option menu. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. But no, Final Fight CD, man. This is pretty good stuff. Yeah, because like you couldn't select Guy. You only had 2 people if you're playing this on like the Super Nintendo. And then they put out one where you could pick Guy. So it's kind of nice to have that in there. There's just this nice addendum to the Sega Genesis, the original. Yeah, and between the two, you got over 100 games. The first one had like 42. This one has 60, unless there's some type of hidden games. And yeah, it's all there. You are missing some stuff, like Phantasy Star 3 is missing. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is missing. Monster World 3, I think. Yeah, there's some weird choices. I think Golden Axe 3 is also missing. I'm pretty sure Golden Axe 3 came out. And then there's stuff we don't need. I mean, I get why it's there, but we don't need it. Ooh, Outrunners. Phantasy Star 2, though. I like that Splatterhouse 2 is here. That's pretty great. But yeah. Ooh, there's Shining Force in the remake. I feel like some of the stuff that was on there were like on here are remakes, like the Sega CD remakes of stuff. Like for example with Echo the Dolphin. There was the Sega CD version which has better music and slightly smoother and stuff. Sonic Software Planning. Got that red letter audio. Oh wow. What? Obviously. Wait. That said, if this system gets hacked and people put Lunar Silver Star Story on it, like Lunar and then Lunar 2 would be, yeah, let's go with easy. Why not? Wow, they added some stuff to this game. Oh, that music's beautiful. Yes. And they definitely improved it a little bit. Really? Those are bad people. Anyways, let's move back to here. I think I've been just kind of like, ooh, you know what? They do need to do they need to do a Saturn one. They really need to do a Saturn one. And they need to include 32X games on it. Because then they can be like 32X Doom. Why not? You know, why not? I mean, there's some games in here that are rated M. They could make it another Amazon only thing. That would be beautiful. I love it. God, Outrun. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig more into these games. I just got this system. Oh. I look at some of these, I'm like, yeah. There's some, Fatal Fury 2. Oh, why isn't there a Neo Geo, there was that tiny version that came out, sort of, that had yeah, that was a weird thing. There's some weird ones they put out, like the Neo Geo X, but they need to make one that's just a tiny Neo Geo, maybe make it 1/4 the size of the Neo Geo, so it'll be about the size of the Neo Geo initially is huge. It's one of those systems that's as big as a PS5 pretty much. It's super yeah. I think if I remember correctly, Neo Geo cartridges are about the size of the Switch. That 100 mega shock, you know. Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure what this one is. Oh, it's a shooting game. Golden Axe 2, though. Yeah. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think. Between the two of them, I feel like if you're going for value for collectors, the Mini 2 has the most value and some of the rarest games. Whereas the Sega Mini 1, that one has the most crowd-pleasing games, essentially. None of them have Sonic 3, though. Naturally. But you know. Yeah. What to do? Okay, I want to move my magic to C button. Thank you. Boom. What? No. Magic. Yep. Anyways, this is one of those games where I'm gonna have to go buy a second 6-button controller, or find. I think I have a wired one that I bought from 8-Bit Dough that would work. Anywho, oh, there's wireless controllers from 8-Bit Dough that will work on this system too. So you don't have to be wired. In fact, I would recommend it because they come in like this blue and they're nice looking. Yeah. Oh, the music's good too. But yeah, you look at this and it's not. Some of the game choices are not as exciting as the first one, but it has more obscure things. And between the two of them, having over 100 plus Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and Sega CD games in like those two little tiny packages is just nice. It's really kind of nice to have all that available. And I think that, like, God, I look at this, I'm just like, it's such an, I like it. It's a good value. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think. Between the two of them, best game selection goes to Sega Genesis Mini 1. Most expensive collection, like the most value, goes to Sega Genesis Mini 2. Yeah, between the two of them, oof. If you're a fan of preservation and of good emulation and of good value, track these down. They're worth it. Kind of like the TurboGrafx 16. That one is like Symphony of the Night. Oh, not Symphony of the Night. I mean, it has a Rondo of Blood and a couple other games where it's like, yes, that one is Ease 1 and 2 with like the with the CD audio. Absolutely fantastic. Looking at these though, I don't understand why Bonanza Brothers is here. I mean, like, I look at this, I'm like, why are you here? At least we didn't end up with another Columns. We do have our Puyo Puyo though, so I'm happy about that. But it's Puyo Puyo Versus only. That's a shame. Fantasy Star 2. Yes. Oh, wow. Original mode, of course. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Out of those, what's your favorite game on all these systems? I mean, oof. My favorites are Landstalker, Sonic 2, Streets of Rage 2. The Fantasy Star games are amazing. But yeah, let me know. Until next video comes out, you are now caught up. Morning, Maya.